Hello everyone, Chris Welty here from Aragonite Technologies. Thanks for joining me on this quick tip webinar today. And if you're joining us through Facebook Live or YouTube, if you like the video, don't forget to like the video. If you have any questions or anything, leave us a comment below. If you find this information valuable, go ahead and share it with your friends. Hopefully you like it. Let us know what you think. So today we're going to be talking about the #1 way that cyber criminals are getting into your network. So for today's tip, I'm going to be talking about a scam called phishing. I get a lot of questions about what do I look for, what do I do, etc. So I kind of put together this instructional video for you all. I actually received a phishing email the other week, and it was pretty good. It got through my spam filter and right into my inbox. So game plan here is I'm going to dissect this email live in this video to show you how to identify if it's a phishing attempt or if it's legitimate. But first, I'm going to answer the question that might be on some of your minds. What the heck is phishing? Now, I'm not talking about the fishing you may have done with your dad, go out on a boat or on a lake or an ocean and catch actual fish. The phishing I'm talking about is a type of fraud where an attacker tries to pretend they're a reputable entity or a person that you might know, and they do this via email or instant messenger and other communications channels. Typically, they're trying to get information like your bank or credit card login, or they're trying to get you to click on a link that installs ransomware on your computer, encrypting all your files. Some are even so bold to try to get you to wire money to them directly. And yeah, I know that can be pretty devastating for a business. Now, some of you may be thinking, I don't need to know this. I have an IT guy. He's got it covered. That's his job to handle that, to make sure we're safe. Well, let me go ahead and address that real quick. Do you know what the #1 threat to every business and their computer security is? Small and large businesses. It's you. It's your employees. It's your vendors that have access to your network. That's right, vendors. Remember the Target hack where they stole all those credit card numbers? It was one of their vendors had their credentials stolen, and that's how the hackers got in and stole all that credit card information. So it's really important to keep an eye on them. So the bottom line is that the security your IT guy puts in place is designed to keep the bad guys from getting in, right? It's keep them out. So to use an analogy here and kind of explain it in a non-technical way, think of it like the doors and locks on your house and the security system you might have. They're fantastic for keeping the bad guys out. But if you unlock the door and open it and let the bad guys in, there's not much anybody can do for you there, right? The security you have on your home is no good if you open the door and let the bad guys in. And that's the same thing that happens here with IT security, okay? We can put millions of dollars worth of software and hardware in place that, is designed for network security. But if somebody opens the door and lets the bad guys in, there's not much anybody can do for you. So now that we covered that, that's one of the main reasons why phishing is so popular with cyber criminals. It is way easier to trick someone into clicking a malicious link in a seemingly legitimate email than it is to try to break through computer and network defenses. So again, with the analogy, it's way easier to trick someone into opening the door than it is to kick the door in with all the security enabled, okay? Another thing to keep in mind when you're looking at phishing, when you're looking at your emails and trying to determine if it's phishing or not, some of them are poorly written and clearly fake. But cyber criminals are getting more and more sophisticated. They use techniques that professional marketers do to identify, what type of message works the best. So they call them phishing hooks, if you will. They look to see if which ones get the highest open or click-through rate, and the Facebook posts that generate the most likes and shares. Well, wait a minute. I know you're thinking, Facebook? What do you mean Facebook? Yes, there's malicious stuff out there on Facebook. Typically it's that news article that somebody posted or a friend shared on there that has this outrageous headline, usually something to do with your least favorite politician, whoever that may be. And the goal is to get you to like and share that as much as possible and to click on the link. Excuse me. Now, the website behind that, it's usually geared to either do something malicious directly to you, capture login credentials, install something on your machine, or their goal is just to get the ad revenue. If you notice there's all these ads on the sites and you have to click through all this junk to scroll through it and see whatever this hot thing is that you wanted, right? And I know it's kind of, some people don't really believe that, but you see these headlines, they're fake, right? And it's a huge business. There was a story about a kid in Eastern Europe who, during the election, he made like $60,000 writing these fake news articles. So trust me, that stuff you see out there, it's fake. Anyways, so now that we covered that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you folks, and we'll go over what to look for to determine if something is a phishing email or not. So what we got here, I'll go ahead and bring up the email, and right here you can see it's an email supposedly from Dropbox. You can see the logo and everything. So let me go ahead and flip screens, and we'll talk about what to look for. And I'm going to kind of flip back and forth between the email and the screen. All right. So here, the first thing we want to look at, okay, what is the subject of the email? Well, if we go back over here to the email, we can see the subject is you received a new file. In this case, I think to myself, am I expecting somebody to send me a file? Right? And now I know a lot of people will say, well, yeah, I know I'm not expecting a file, so they wouldn't get me. But let's be real, right? Okay, a lot of people are curious. They'll say, well, I'm not expecting a file. They must have sent it to me by mistake. So, I wonder if it's something good. Maybe pictures. You know who you are. You're out there. So, yeah, it works. That's why they do it. So the next thing we want to look at, what email address is it coming from? Okay. Does it seem like a legitimate email address? So we'll flip back over here to the email. Okay. So the friendly name is Dropbox Notifier. But if you look here at the email address, you see it's dropbox@lux.it. Definitely not Dropbox. Okay. So, but some people may not look at that, so we can look at some things in the body, and we'll talk about that. So that's the next thing we want to look at is the language. Remember, we mentioned that they'll be poorly written sometimes. So let's go ahead and look at the language that's in this email, okay? So let's see. You received a new secure file via Dropbox. Kindly follow link below to view. Okay, so this one's not too bad. Me personally, I recognize this phrase as it's definitely not the wording that their system generated email would use. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we kind of look at that. So, but you see all this stuff in here, and a lot of it looks okay for the most part. So what do we do next? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the links in the email. So sometimes the links are, it's just text, and so you don't see what the URL is. So what you want to do is you want to hover over that link in the email, and you can see what the URL is. Now you see that it says is.gd. It might be a little small on your screen, but basically it's they're using a link shortener. So link shorteners are used to take a long URL and make it short so it doesn't break up, or to hide where that link is actually going. So we're looking at this, we see that. Well, let's look at this other link down here. It says dropbox.com/login. But if we hover over it, we can see it's the exact same link that was associated with click here to view document up above. Now this is interesting. We have another link down here, and kind of ironically, they have a note on here to protect yourself from phishing email. Okay. Go directly to the normal login page. Learn more about phishing and malware. Well, let's take a look at this link. Hey, what do you know? It is the exact same URL of these two above. So right now I'm saying definitely not legitimate. So now some people may be like, well, you know, it's a link shortener, so maybe their system used that. It doesn't. But if you are curious, there are websites out there that you can use to unshorten a link. So what I did is I copied the URL, I didn't click on it, and I expanded that link. So you see, the link is going to managementbd.es. Definitely not Dropbox, okay? You know, you can go further, and I looked up their domain, and it's some company out in Spain, some IT company, ironically, right? And it looks like their website was hacked. And so somebody's using that to serve up malicious content. That's very common. So yeah. So yes, they're a computer company. All right, maybe I'll send them a message and let them know they're being used for malicious content. But anyways, I'll stop sharing my screen now. Hopefully you found this quick tip webinar useful. Again, if you're watching on Facebook Live, go ahead and comment below. And if you have any questions, and make sure if you like the video to like the video. And we'll see you next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care.